The vast majority of men that were there, they weren't her cup of tea.
This is confusing because last year men heavily outweighed women on dating apps. Some men told me the events can feel forced. Others said it comes down to rejection and ego.
This coming from the gender that said it didn't want to be bothered, but now is upset that men won't show the
I take a look around and there are no men in there. It is just women.
Guys aren't going to the club anymore. Men have got on social media and basically snitched on themselves.
Men are too scared to turn up.
Women literally said, leave us the phone. We picked the bear. I'm independent.
Something the apps no longer provide, a meaningful connection. Tickets almost always sell, but there's one key problem. Men are too scared to turn up. Dating events. Men are not showing up. Dating apps are on the decline, but a growing number of Gen Z and millennial singles are turning to and creating in real-life dating events.
Wonder why.
In search of something the apps no longer provide, a meaningful connection. Tickets almost always sell, but there's one key problem. Men are too scared to turn up.
All right. Men are too scared to turn up. These events are not for us. We're going to get to the comment section later.
This is confusing because last year men heavily outweighed women on dating apps at 68%, and Ofcom found that on Tinder, men outnumbered women 3-1. So why are organizers handing out free tickets to get men to sign up? Well, I attended a few events to find out why. Some men told me the events can feel forced. Others said it comes down to rejection and ego. Some said vulnerability and confidence, and others spoke about the difficulty in knowing how to show up in modern dating due to the shift in expectations. Men are expected to pursue and approach women, and they're taught to be confident and charming and say the right things. But some men now fear coming across as sleazy or creepy. Others expressed how men are taught to not show sensitivity or vulnerability. But events like this mean putting yourself out there, which in turn can lead to rejection. And women have each other to confide in with things like this. But men, on the other hand, they're taught to just deal with it. So yes, men might not be showing up to singles dating events, but perhaps it's because they don't know how.
They don't know how. You got to be kidding me, right? How they do it is just don't go. Like, why go to a humiliation ritual? Seriously, if I was back home, single, I'm not going to a dating event. I'd rather take my shot with meeting someone in the street. But guess how I'm going to play it? I'm going to talk to females who are interested in me. I learned my lesson from talking to females that were the best around. There's been a lot of danger doing that, right? So what men do, men know it's 3-1. But you know what? Men would rather take those odds. It just makes sense. Why go through the pain? And what do I mean by pain, right? When you talk to someone and then they treat you like you're the worst man that ever existed on the face of the earth. Yes, guys get treated like that. And how do I know? Even before I left, I was treated like that at one point. It's just, they can't help themselves. If you're not the man they want, they treat you like you stole something from them. And guys are tired.
Those days are over.
Being a woman on Hinge is like, wow, I got so many likes. And then you look through the likes and it's like, well, if you're here, then who's asking me their riddles 3 when I try to cross a bridge? Who's guarding the Notre Dame? Who's swimming around in the Black Lagoon? This cannot possibly be the same Hinge Mom Donnie was on. And it's not just physical either.
Dating apps are on the decline.
Dating apps are on a decline because most men are not selected. Girls only select like the top 20%. That's been shown through data.
Real talk alert.
And have you ever been a dude going to a speed dating event? If you're not one of those guys in the top 20%, guess what? They're not going to select you.
Yep.
Duh.
But a growing number of Gen Z and millennial singles are turning to and creating in real-life dating events. Tickets almost always sell, but there's one key problem. Men are too scared to turn up.
Women literally said, leave us the alone. We picked the bear. I'm independent. I don't need a man. And you're wondering why men aren't showing up to where the women are? We're not scared. You said, leave us alone. We're doing what you told us to do. Y'all said you don't even want to have children. Jesus.
Apparently now when it comes to dating, men are doing literally the least in every sense of the term.
All y'all gotta do is show up. What do you mean least? We're the ones that have to plan every goddamn... Oh my God.
What a shocker. Brought to you by the gender who convinced you that they were world leaders for forever.
Yes, men are mostly the leaders in the majority of things that maintain society. This coming from the gender that said it didn't want to be bothered, but now is upset that men won't show the up.
They're now too scared.
No one's afraid of you! Why do you guys keep thinking men are scared? We don't want to deal with people that say they don't want to deal with us. Logic. Have a good...
Let's look at the comments, right? Listen to what the men are saying. Imagine paying money to get rejected. 75 replies. I bet those replies look kind of the same. Yeah. Second that. Yeah, mate. I'm not doing it. If women don't show up, it's men's fault. Why is that? If men don't show up, it's men's fault. I think you answered your own question. Everything is the man's fault. That's why, look at what they're doing. Shame is all they have left. I bet you if I shame you, see, that was a tactic used back in the day, right? You don't like a girl. Oh, he's gay. Put pressure on a man. He may talk to you. But then that's defeating the purpose, right? Because a lot of times women just say, I won't talk to you ever again. And that's what we're doing. So look, yes, another reason to blame single men. Now men are shamed for not giving a F. Ladies, we're used to it. Straight propaganda. Look at the next set of comments. Such interesting framing. Why haven't these events made more effort to be appealing to men? That's not going to happen, right? I know this brother, he must not know what's going on. But the reason why it will never be appealing to men is because they're going to select the man that's always wanted. And guys take that risk on dating apps because you know what happens? He swipes, get one. Men are happier with those odds. Why? Because some men are still having a great time doing that. You know, it's crazy because men are swiping on the Ugg mugs, laying the Ugg mugs and saying, you know what, it do what it do. I mean, that's what's happening. Why are they saying men are scared? Men just don't want to go. Men know it's terrible. The scare tactic ain't gonna work. The types of men that are sought after by most women don't need to go to dating events. Men are expected to audition. Men are telling you, ladies, what's happening. The wild thing is this has been happening for years now. I reacted to at least, I would say, 10 videos like this myself. But for the simple fact you're still talking about it, it's disturbing. Look what the next man said. And he got 15 replies. I'm not 6 feet tall. Therefore, will never go to one of these. And what does he mean by that? That's the 20% that 80% of the females want. If you've been watching my channel for a while, I've made videos showing, you saw it clear as day. I remember I did a video where females were at a dating event and they were all going for the tall guys. All the ladies. All the other guys were sitting around like talking to nobody. One guy, 2 guys had 3 or 4 girls trying to talk to him. Yeah, let's pay for an event to be mocked, called creepy, and ew. No. Why would we want to be insulted and reject it. That's what's happening, ladies. If you cared enough to look and listen and watch, you don't understand what men are going through.
Event, and she said when she got there, there were a lot of beautiful women. The women were drop dead. You know, the women were women as we do. And she said the vast majority of men that were there, they weren't her cup of tea. It's like not a lot of the women's cup of tea. So I'm assuming probably maybe not attractive.
You see what she just said? The men weren't her cup of tea. And a lot of times, those be the females that are not men's coffee, tea, water, nothing.
I'm kind of obsessed with how Mamdani inadvertently solved a little piece of the male loneliness epidemic without even meaning to. Like, he inadvertently did this, and that is the power of Zohran. Because when we had that big snowstorm and he offered everybody $30 to come out and shovel snow, he was just creating an economic opportunity and a smart way to deal with what was set to be a historically terrible snowstorm for the entire city. And that was all handled beautifully. The city has never been better shoveled than it has. But all of these men came out to shovel and found friends, because while they were shoveling, they started chatting to each other. And now there's all these cute little male friendships that exist because all of these men came out to make $30 an hour in Mamdanistan. Like, he wasn't even trying to do this. And now they can go to the bar, they can have beers together, you know, maybe they can even start a little book club. And I just think it's so cute that was never the intention of the snow shoveling. It really was just, we're going to get a lot of snow, we've got to move it out the streets. And now all these cute little men get to be friends with each other. What a delight.
There's a slight ratio problem in the clubs that needs to be addressed, or someone just needs to talk about it. I was at Amber Room last night. I haven't been there in like a year. Love that place, but I'm rolling in 5 girls deep with my homegirls, right? I take a look around and there are no men in there. It is just women. I think I counted like 4 dudes in the whole spot and it was 12:30 at night. Like, that's crazy. And I fully understand it's promoters' responsibility to bring pretty girls to the clubs, whatever. But like, I don't know, like I don't really want to go out when it's only girls. Like, I didn't sign up for ladies' night. Like, where are the men low key? Like, there's so many spaces that I think should be women dominated, but I just don't think the club needs to be one of them. And I just don't think it's a crime to want to have like a mixed gender space in there. So perhaps there's something to be said in terms of reducing the barrier of entry for men at the clubs. Like, I just think maybe $200 to get in is slightly excessive. I am not saying that they should get a table for free like the girls. No. But like, we gotta make the ratio just a bit more balanced in there. Like, it shouldn't be 28 girls to 1 man in the club, because it's hordes of like beautiful women, but like, what am I supposed to look at? I don't know. Like, it's a social public space, and it's...
The ladies are in free. She's in New York City. The men have to pay an arm and a leg. The same thing. Why pay $200 if I'm not going to be chosen? Straight up. That's how it is. It's been that way for a while. And men are not stupid. Like, why go to a club? Because if you're in the section, because that's what you're paying for. You have to buy a bottle, right? So that's $200 for the section, and then you have to buy a bottle with it. So you're adding what? Another $100-$200. You have $400 already just to go to the club and be drinking by yourself and not getting any play. It's crazy.
Currently set up in a way that the men that are actually coming in either have connections or they have the money to pay for a table or the entry fee or whatever it is, which is fine. But we're reducing the numbers to a point where I'm going to the club and it's looking like an Ariana Grande concert. Like, there's something that has to give there. And I understand we need to still maintain some level of exclusivity, right? But if girls are being brought into the club based on how they look, and you have to look a certain way and dress a certain way, maybe the answer is then we like lower the fee for men so more men get in, but then we also make them adhere to that same level of exclusivity in terms of how they look.
I said, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait, first of all, you're not going to speed past that like you didn't just say what you just said.
What? You heard what she just said? You wonder why men don't go to dating events. That's why men don't go to the club as well. Watch this. This is her too.
Ratio problem in the clubs that needs to be addressed, or someone just needs to talk about it. I was at Amber Room last night. I haven't been there in like a year. Love that place, but I'm rolling in 5 girls deep with my homegirls, right? I take a look around and there are no men in there. It is.
I think the main reason why guys aren't going to the club anymore is because women have got on social media and basically snitched on themselves. Like, women have gotten on social media and proclaimed to the entire world that they're tired of men approaching them. When they're in the club space, they don't want men talking to them, interacting with them. Hell, I'll see videos where girls who are like recording them getting approached, or their friend getting approached, and the guy will tap a girl on the shoulder to get her attention. The comment section is full of women talking about, but oh my God, why is he touching her? Why do men feel the need to touch women? Men just think they own everybody and want to touch. Mind you, the music is blast, and how else am I supposed to get your attention? Outside of being a weirdo and walking around you and standing right in front of your face and then trying to shout at you to talk to you, when the quickest way and the most convenient way is to tap you on the shoulder to get your attention. But y'all just hate that. That just gives y'all the biggest ick. On top of that, we're not even talking about how much it costs for niggas to get in the club. We're not even talking about that. But once they get in, like I said, no woman wants to be approached. The number one reason why most men go to clubs is to approach women. That's it. Full stop. Men don't go to clubs to have fun with the guys, to have a night out with the guys. Maybe to have a night out with the guys, they might go to a bar, right? So they can be watching something at the same time, but standing there listening to blasting music, that niggas I don't even want to listen to that shit. I don't even listen to that shit on my own time. Why the go to a club? And then on top of that, women have came on social media explaining to the world how they run game on men. How they'll have a guy pay for their drinks and not talk to them for the rest of their night. Posting POVs in their videos of, oh, I just got 5 drinks from this guy, time to avoid him.
Ladies, I know you're hearing the same thing over and over. Men have saw this video after video. I've even showed a bunch myself. It's tiring. It is. For men to go out and then it happens to him. That's the wild thing you ladies are not realizing. What he's explaining he saw on social media happened to him. Even before I left, many years ago when I went to the club, it happened to me because that's when it started being done. You lady shot yourself in the foot. This is her again.
Topic of men approaching women, I decided I'm going to stop giving my number out. Like,
look what she just said. We got to make it fair for men to get in the club. And then now she says, I'm not giving out my number anymore. You can be a fan instead. You can't make this stuff up. This is the same girl. She has her head wrapped up. You can't make it up. Watch what she says.
I'm giving out Instagram now, and I've never been in that camp because I'm 30, so I'm always just like, you have my number. Why are we giving out social media? But I realize, like, it's a lot of y'all with my number and nobody is texting me. Or they'll just text me for 3 messages and then I will never hear from them again. And it's like, what was the point of you putting in the work to ask for my information if you were never going to put it to use? You could just walk away. Like, and so I decided if men are going to be useless with my information, you might as well be useless in my follower count. Like, go double tap my story, like do something. Because I just feel weird. My number is in way too many phones and it's not getting put to use whatsoever. And with scam calls on the rise, I have half a mind that y'all are just getting my number so that you can sell my information. Because there's no way that you're getting my number to actually talk to me because nobody's talking to me.
You know what's wild? They don't realize. If the men get your phone number and then they talk to you 3 times, you obviously display some characteristics these men didn't like. You know, from what you did in the videos you're making, you know what I see in a lot of you modern women? air in the head. Somebody has switched off all of your brains. How do I say that?
About how men are no longer approaching them in public. What's happening to the men? They're not coming up to us. This is not. But in the same breath, I just saw this video this girl posted about how she went out in West Village, which is predominantly white as we know. She's a woman of color, and she was firstly like appalled by all the average looking white men there. And so I guess a guy comes up to try to talk to her and like shoot his shot. And she just said that she was like appalled because this man was so ugly. And went as far as to talk about how it was like almost a sense of entitlement or something that this man thought he could even come up to her because of how he looked and how she looked and how she was way better looking than him. And even as far as saying that white men think that they can get with women of color because women of color have lower standards and think that's all they could get is these average looking white men, which I don't even know how she made all those leaps, right? But when I was watching the video, I was just thinking, okay, like maybe the guy just thought you were pretty and want to shoot his shot because he saw you out in public. And my thing is,
oh, now she's kind of understanding what men are going through. You see the change? It's like the great realization, like, oh, actually won't be a problem. Crazy.
and I was like, I don't think we can ask men to approach us and complain they're not approaching us enough, but also in the same sentence, like disparage men for approaching us because we don't deem them attractive. And this is not me taking a man's side. I just feel it's a counterproductive point to make. We can't have it both ways. We can't say, oh, we need more men to approach women, but you can only approach me if you're 6'5" and look like Jason Tatum, Michael B. Jordan. Like, that's just not how it works. Because we get up here and make videos about how this ugly man came up to you and you're like, the guys that are coming up to you, actual attraction.
You know what happened? She got whiff of what's going on. It said, yeah, I see the videos myself. You ladies have to be honest. You see the content yourself. I'm happy you admitted it. Seriously. I tip my hats off to you. I don't have a hat, but I tip it off to you. I tip my invisible hat. Because you see the problem.
Guys are going to see that and be like, well, I don't want that to be me, brother. I'm not pulling up on girls. Like, are we asking more men to have the confidence to approach women in public? Or are we asking them to stop and self-assess their looks before they even think of going up to a girl in case that girl looks way better than them? Because if the shoe's on the other foot, does that mean like I can never talk to a guy that looks a lot better than me because how dare I? You know what I mean? The simple fact is if you want more men to approach you, ugly men are going to be part of that equation too. And we can't do anything about that. The best that we as women can do is just kind of guide men to approach us in a respectful manner and to talk about maybe what the right settings are to approach a woman. And like, I'm not shitting on the girl for her opinion, whatever. I'm just trying to offer a different perspective.
See, the right settings, like there is no right setting. There truly isn't. Because there's men out there that will approach a girl in a wrong setting and still get her. Right? With enough charisma, enough pizzazz. Girls go. And of course that doesn't work for every man. Not every man has that charisma or that know-how to be able to break through your barrier. That's why men will talk to you. They'll go, okay, this didn't work. He'll try again. And it's seen as offensive. What did I show in the comments? What are men saying? The same exact thing. It's good to see, though. You ladies are starting to pay attention. You have to. Because you have to understand why you have the outcomes you're having.
Men in their 30s not being out and about, and I want to tell you why I think not a lot of men go to singles events. I don't think they're specifically marketed to men well enough. If you are a part of the marketing for a singles event, you need to have a group of eligible bachelors that will promote for you.
Someone call a search party because these TikToks are lost in Delulu land.
A group of eligible bachelors that will promote for you. If they're promoting it, and they tell a bunch of other guys, come to a ridicule factory. See, you know what they want? They want all the men, the dream guys. If it could be that way, I woke up and I'm in heaven. That's not going to happen. Those guys don't have to meet up. All they have to do is walk the street. They don't have to go to an event. Sometimes they go to these events for fun. Oh, hey, my roster. This one's not calling me already. You know, she decided to be what do you call it? She decided to descend her men. This female is choosing a bear now. Let me go to a singles event. Go to a singles event. 6'2", handsome dude, right? Other guys not getting no play. 4 girls walk up to him, collect them, get their numbers on the side. They still giving it to him, playing ball. I can't wait, give it to him. Slide him the number. Then he's off to the races.
The gate. Women are already going to come. You also need to have it be around competition. Most of these singles events should be at arcades, like truthfully, or just like game nights or something that is like physically active and competitive, where instead of like rotating at tables, you're rotating partners at different games, because it shows how you'll work together. Then you can talk more. You get a vibe for personality. Women can do things with their hands and not just be like standing still. And competition tells you a lot about somebody's personality and like how they are when they win, how they are when they lose, what they're like with new people, how they're like to collaborate with. I think that's the biggest thing that's missing in singles events. If anybody wants to partner with me on this, I would love to help. Yeah, I think that just like saying it's a singles event isn't enough.
Yeah. It's not going to work. It's not. You know, it depends what city you're trying to do it in. See if you're doing it down south somewhere and everybody is a wholesome person, right? It's like a town where everybody knows each other. Yeah, you can do that. And that probably won't work because everybody knows each other. But I understand. You got to try again. But a lot of you ladies are beating a dead horse.
One of my besties and I, we live in like a college-ish town, and so we were so hyped for the summer because we were like, yeah, we go out, but oftentimes bars are like flooded with college students, and we're like, well, we would love to find the men who are actually over 28. I'm 31. She's a little younger than me though, but still, like, I don't know, someone within 5 years would be swell. And you look around and like, I don't know, but they look young, and I don't initially hold that against anybody. I'm like, well, let's go up and talk to somebody, and so we'll be talking. And I'll be like, does your birthday year start with a 19 or 20? It's always 20. Even when I think they look like they could be a little older, still 20. And everybody always assumes that they assume that we're like 25 or younger. And because obviously you live in a college town, and I don't think we necessarily look like we're in our 30s. Apparently, I'm the only one in my 30s, my bad. But you get what I'm saying. But I don't see any of them. Are they all shacked up? Do they not come out anymore? I saw this video in here talking about how like the women don't go out anymore, or like I never see women at bars. I'm a woman who is out. I'm just looking for someone who is at a
man, come out and meet me. Go to singles events. Come out. I'm in a college town. They're looking and searching and scraping and pounding the pavement. Nothing.
similar stage of life, you know, or who doesn't still get allowance, you know. It's fascinating. And like I go to the gym too, or we both do, and so we see a lot of people at the gym and they still look like infants. Not actually, they look like they're 21, but at least. But I was 21 10 years ago. What do I do with that? School year is over. Leave my town. I pretty much have my master's in self-reflection at this point, and I've been in therapy for like years. So as much as I am intrigued by the cougar proposition, I can't say that the young bucks have been more and or less impressive. They just feel like their age, you know? I guess I'll like join a club or volunteer. And don't get me wrong, we have a blast whenever we go out. We have very full, wonderful, beautiful lives. But who doesn't love an age-appropriate flirt? You know? It's a good time. It's crazy out here.
Called Someone's Type. We need more boys. Always need more guys. I don't know what it is. The girls that turn up to our event, stunning, gorgeous, hilarious, intelligent, like the most, like just all of them are catches. I think it's because you have to put like 5% effort in that they just don't do it. But I'm telling you now, if you want to find hot women in London, they are at our events. See quickly who we are, what we do. I'm going for about a year. Our events are invite only. You tell us what your physical type is, personality type is. We figure out who's going to get on with who and who's going to fancy who, and we put you in a room with them. We do speed dates and mixes. So speed dates is 30 people in a room. We do those more regularly, like every couple of weeks. We'll have a 5-minute date with everyone. Then at the end of the night, you get a form with everyone's face and their name, and you can say yes, no, or friend. And if it's a match at the end of the night, you get each other's phone numbers. And our mixes, those are a bit more like just chuck everyone in a room, everyone gets pretty pissed, and there's like 150 to 200 people. This is a PSA that all the hot women in London are at our events. Get your brothers, your sons, maybe not your sons, your roommates, anyone. Get them to sign up. 15,000 of you signed up, and a large chunk of that is women. So boys, sign up to Someone's Type and maybe we'll see you at an event.
Desperation for things to go back to the way they were 10 years ago.
Those days are over.
It's never happening again. Stop trying, ladies. I know you've heard stories. You've heard stories from your aunties. Said, oh, I remember guys, oh, they buy me drinks in the club. No, they tell you. They tell you them stories. But your auntie messed it up. Yeah. She messed it up. Why? Because stories were also passed down by men as well. Ha 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 ha. You didn't know that. It goes both ways. Stories are passed down by men. Oh, well, yeah, you know, girls, they try to get you. And also, not only that, they see it happening in real life. Because you know what's happening now? Guys are also recording themselves at dates with girls trying to pull stuff on them, and it's gotten bad. Yeah, it feels like a nightmare, but it's not our fault. But yeah, y'all, thank y'all for watching. Be sure to subscribe. Other than that, peace out. See you next video.
What we do in life echoes in eternity.